Hey, welcome back everybody. Thank you so much for dropping by. And today, final conclusion of part 4 of sleep disorders. Understanding, mastering, managing, call it what you want. We'll do the final conclusion on understanding all this. And hopefully I could put this in the form as easy as possible for you guys to understand. And I'll have a full list at the end, which you could picture, take a snapshot out, put on your bedside or fridge, and hopefully to follow. That will help you sleep better and stay calm before bed. So without any ado, before starting, guys, subscribe. It helps the channel moving forward and showing it to others. If you like what you see, hit that like button, tell me I'm in the right direction, and hit that bell button with all notifications on it. It will tell you the next time I'll be posting another video. So let's cover vitamins, which we didn't have time to cover in the last video because I'm trying to keep these things under 15 to 20 minutes as much as possible. There's one study that I did out there, and I'll have all the links of everything that I did in all the videos, every link to the medical research, to university studies, all below, which you could click on the link and read them yourself if you want. Okay, so one vitamin that was covered, and I'm not going to cover them all, there's too many. I'm going to cover the main ones that seem to have a main reaction, was vitamin D, by a trial of several people. And these people were telling when they were taking the vitamin D at night, it seemed to have an interference with the melatonin production that they had and giving them trouble to sleep. Like, whoa, wait a minute. I've been taking vitamin D at night with my magnesium and calcium to go along with it, because those are all three combinations that you need to take for it to better assimilation of your calcium. And now it would come and interfere with my production of melatonin in my brain. Well, you know what? Maybe some of you, it may have that interference. So something to take or to be aware of, take an account. And some of you may not have that problem. Okay? But let's look at it this way. It's all biochemical reaction. We go outside daytime. It's sunny. Our skin absorbs the sun's UVA and UVB. So we absorb the UVs. What does our skin do? Transforms this cholesterol to our liver takes the cholesterol, then it gets transformed to vitamin D. So it's a daytime. It's true, I never thought of that, but daytime reaction that your body does, maybe this has an interference indirect with your melatonin production. Who knows? Some of the studies, still more studies are meant to be on that, but why not just take vitamin D in the afternoon during your lunch? Because vitamin D is a transporter in a way. It's an oil transporter. So it's important for a lot of minerals out there while you're eating. Don't use it for nothing and taking it on an empty stomach. Take it on a full stomach while you're eating lunch and use it there, and you'll have a little bit less, but you'll still have enough at night to do what your magnesium and your calcium needs. Okay? Just a suggestion on that. Now, next one would be, how about different minerals out there? Let's take a look at calcium, okay, and its different effects. But don't forget, minerals, vitamins, everything, if you don't see something happening within a week or two, patience, minerals, calcium, things like that, vitamins, before anything, you see reactions from them may take weeks or up to 3 months before you see an effect on that. So you have to be patient. In just saying, okay, this has been a month and I haven't seen an effect, get away from it. Let's go back to our old routine. You may want to give it some time. Calcium is better taken in the evening, because studies show that if you're low on calcium, you may have what you call a tryptophan hydroxylase pathway reduction. Okay, it may affect your, let's abbreviate this, a tryptophan pathway. Okay, and what is that? A new term, Jean? Yeah, if you want to call it that. It's just the pathway that your tryptophan may take to get all the way down in your brain to be metabolized into melatonin. Here, just put it on the bottom of the screen. Goes from tryptophan, gets changed to 5-HTP, serotonin, then melatonin. And I'm really doing this fast, you know what? Because I don't want to cover this in detail right now. I want to cover this more in detail on the last video that I'll have next weekend on the product that me and my mother personally are doing a trial with, okay, which is all natural foods. Okay, you may want to stick around because it looks damn promising right now. It makes me sleep like a baby, and as much as for my mother, because I want to test that product on somebody who's 80 years old, who is chronic insomnia, that her pineal gland may not be working as good as mine, and to see the difference if it's able to generate the proper melatonin for her to fall asleep. So stick around. Like I said, hit that bell button with all notifications. Be notified next time I put one of these videos on, and to follow that. That said, you need the right combination of food and the right amounts for it to reach your brain and to be able to follow that pathway. So if you miss calcium, it's not too good. So we know, well, I'm going to talk about it in a minute, but we know that magnesium, and I'm coming to that, it's good to take in the evening because magnesium is part of that pathway to help absorb, which I'm going to talk into about in a minute. So if you're going to take your magnesium to help you out, might as well take the calcium along with it. And, it's going to help your bones and it's going to help you promote the better sleep. It's a win-win situation for you. Certain magnesium, going to magnesium now, jumping to magnesium, will have a calming effect on you. But there's so many types of magnesiums. And as I said before, as I'm going to cover the vitamins and minerals later on in the next series of videos that I'm covering, because that's the request I had from most people. That's what they want to see. Magnesium, and this is not to promote or plug these guys, but this is what I take, CalMag. Okay? It's a special kind of magnesium. It's 1 calcium per 2 magnesium. That's what you should be taking at 50 years old. Well, at least that's what I'm taking. I don't believe in taking that much calcium. It's magnesium that has the most effects because if you look at magnesium in the body, it has at least 300 biochemical reactions that it does in your body. Well, that's quite a bit. And one of them, this type, okay, has a calming effect on your brain. It's like almost like, I would say, it's like taking a hot shower, drying off, coming out of the shower, and then cooling down slowly. You know that calming effect that it gives on you after a nice warm or hot shower? That's what that gives. And it mimics almost like the reaction of melatonin. So that's the kind of magnesium that I take. But there's other types, type the other people that work out and they want another type of magnesium that will help their muscles. I'll cover all that later on. Not in this video. What was I going to say? Yeah, so the type I take is magnesium. Let's try to read my bottle here and thing. Biglycinate or magnesium glycinate. The same thing. Bi is just a double molecule. They're as good, both of them. So let me show you the bottle again. This is the type. Let's see if it, yeah, it shows on the video. Good. If not, I'll put it after I review these videos. If it's not, it doesn't, show properly, I'll do it again. Other vitamins and products, which I'll cover really, really quickly because I don't want to go in detail because it gets really complicated in some of these terms. And they have other effects in almost drug taking to calm anxiety and other type of other effects that you may have. Vitamin B. Vitamin B is very important in the process of this pathway of going, taking your tryptophan all the way down to your pineal gland for creating a melatonin. So the best type of vitamin B is coenzyme form. It's better assimilated. So if you're looking for a vitamin B complex, if you don't think you're getting it enough in your food, which you should because it's all over the place. Vitamin B is going to nourish your nervous system. There's vitamin B6. It's almost acts like a certain energy with our magnesium at a cellular level, so it helps. And again, I'll show that in more detail in the next video. B3 is the best carrier for our tryptophan to create our serotonin in our mind, in our brain, to all the way down to our create melatonin afterwards. Then we fall in GABA. This gets even more complicated. I'll put down the name because I don't even want to try to say it. GABA aminoburic acid. Okay, I said it. Which is an inhibitor neurotransmitter. It reduces the hyperexcitability in our brain, such as acute stress. So if you're always on a stress level very high, GABA is sometimes what is some doctors may suggest in a natural way of going, but there's a lot more than that. Again, don't change your medication if you're on to do this. I'm just explaining different things out there, okay? L-theanine calms your mind. 5-HTP. It's part of the process with theanine. That's gonna help with depression, anxiety, insomnia, headaches, obesity, because it gives you that fulfill of hunger, that you're not hungry anymore, you're full. So guys, before you try any of these things, please talk to your doctor and make sure that it doesn't have any effect on your medication, because if you're taking any kind of medication for anxiety or anything like that, it may have an effect. At this point, we're on a conclusion, okay? And I'm going to put on PowerPoint because I thought it'd be good just to revise everything and just give you a final conclusion again, which you could do a snapshot on, okay? Okay, so basically, very important to keep a constant sleep routine. I cannot repeat this enough. This is so important, okay? So your brain loves routine. Again, I got up a little bit earlier this morning. It was 7:30. I had enough sleep because we went to bed pretty early. Well, 11 o'clock is still early for me. And my wife woke up. It was 10 to 8. She didn't even know I was out of bed. And she goes, oh, he's up already? But she woke up 10 to 8, fully awake, and got up, came to see me downstairs as I was preparing this video. And she goes, oh, you're up already? Yeah, I didn't need any more sleep. I'm okay. So usually I wake up at 7:30, but I stay in bed just a little bit longer, wait till she gets up around 8. But you see how our brains get adjusted? Next thing would be turn off the screens 1 to 1.5 hours in advance, or set your TV or nighttime 1.5 hours before. You know what? If you're like me, I just can't, start reading. My brain is like, it's on slow-mo, and I just need sometimes just a simple, easy program to watch, which my brain relaxes a lot more. So what do? I set my TV for the blue light protection. That's all. Take all your devices and set them off to blue light. Exactly how I explained in my previous videos of sleep. Okay? If this works, I'm just trying to move forward. Doesn't. Okay, avoid liquids. 1.5 hours before bed. We know why. It'll take you to the bathroom a few trips at night, or maybe one, which will wake you up. But if you do, and you did drink 1 hour or just before going to bed, and you do have that trip, make sure you don't open any lights so your brain doesn't think it's daytime, as we explained previously. Next thing is no caffeine 6 to 8 hours before going to sleep. And that will all depend on your intolerance to caffeine, how much you had during the day, or how much you drink during the day, and how much quantity you're used to, and how fast your body will probably metabolize it, So for me, at least 6 to 8 hours, I cannot have a coffee after that. If not, it will affect my sleep. The other one is avoid alcohol 3 to 4 hours before bed. Me, it's more like 6 hours because I have a hard time with alcohol. It just raises my core temperature during the night, and I wake up and I have a bad sleep from there on. Okay, and we don't want the core temperature to raise. We explained that also. We want our core temperature to be as cool as possible, so we go into that deep sleep, and it's very important to have that deep sleep to be able to move forward and clean up your body and your mind at the same time. The other one is alcohol studies. Well, this one surprised me. I found this in one of the university studies. It may reduce your melatonin production by 20%. Well, do we want that? Well, that's another reason to stay away from alcohol at night. I know if you're young, you got more than willing melatonin than you could even give to other people, and you got plenty, and you don't have any problems with that. But as we get older, 40 and over, we start getting issues. Okay, so that's mainly for us, guys, or people, women's out there. Sorry for everybody. If stressed, do some light exercise, relax, some light meditation. Some will probably do yoga, but just don't go running on a treadmill. You don't want to wind up your body or use a heavy exercise to, start winding down. It won't help you. Cool down the temperature of your room as much as possible. 65 to 67 are the recommended, 18 to 20 Celsius. I'm sorry, guys, but 69 is plenty for me, or let's say good for me. 68 would be better, but 69 is just enough for my wife. Don't forget your spouse. You're not alone. 67 may be a little bit too cool for her or him. Make sure your room is dark as possible. Okay, we know why. This one is funny, but it's important. Don't wear socks. Make sure that, as our core temperature cools down during the night, our body tends to, our extremity, push the heat outside. So if you're wearing heavy socks or big socks, to keep your feet warm, it's not going to help with the cooling process for your core temperature. All I say. Next one. Lights from your alarms. Green, blue, white, red, you name it. Hide them. Even though they dim, put something in front of the alarm clock. Don't tell your body which time it is. Don't get disturbed by any light. But Jean, you're using red light to go to bed. Yes, on a certain wavelength, 630 exactly. But what tells me that my clock with the red light is not like 700 or 720, which is not the right or proper length of light or wavelength of light, that will wake me up. And if it's over a certain intensity, that it will tell my brain, hey, it's maybe daytime. You don't want any interference. So any alarm clock, make sure you hide it. Just like if you get up in the morning and it's daytime, you want to take a look at the time, there you do. Next thing, magnesium and calcium, take at night. Okay, best type, biglycinate, or the other one, glycinate, the same things, just it's a double molecules, does the same thing. Next thing, take vitamin D3, only at dinner, no later than 1. So it doesn't have any effect on your sleep. If vitamin D does have an effect on you in interfering with your sleep. Avoid smoking. Well, I don't know, but that's a no-brainer. Then, as we talked in previous first video, use the HeLight Redlight to help prepare your circadian cycle and tell it it's time to go to sleep and calm down. I know it had a big effect on me. And it does on my wife and to other people that have tested it out, that I've tried and I've talked to. I'm going to have a final video on that after 3 months of trying it out and tell you what the end results are. But so far, I wouldn't go to bed without it anymore. Next one, and oh my God, I have to talk about this because I had so many questions asked about it. Why is blue light that bad? It's not that blue light is bad, it's going to keep you awake. Oh, is it going to burn my eyes, or it's going to be bad for, my eyes? I had so many questions around that because we're talking always about blue light. I'm going to make a special, very quick video to explain it once and for all, how bad or how not bad it is for our eyes, okay? But if you're really worried about it, because it all comes down to these glasses. Yeah, these damn glasses. These blue light blocking glasses that they sell in the store, that every time I look at that, I kind of laugh at them because I totally find it's a waste of money. But I had some comments that made me rethink of what it is. And you know what? If you're going to go for a blue light glasses and you do want to pay for that, which I find totally ridiculous, you know what? The first one, which is yellow, blocks the blue light from your screen. Okay, good, but no need. Trust me, no need. The red ones, they block all the blue lights from your screen, from everywhere. Because don't forget, the white light, even from a light from your house, a white light, which is not yellow, but the bright white light from one of your maybe halogen lamps or whatever that you may have. White is composed of blue. It has a certain percentage of blue light in it. So you want to block all blue light that will tell your brain, hey, it's time to wake up. You know, it's time to stay awake. You may want, if you still want to go that way, buy one of those glasses and use them 1.5 hours to 2 hours before bed to block all blue light and remove them in your dark room. And your brain's going to be ready to move forward in going to sleep mode. That's really all I have to say, but I will show you the proof on how blue light afterwards and all the effects on there in a short, small video if I have time in the middle of the week next week. Okay? So guys, if you like what you saw, please hit that thumbs up, share if you think this could help something, and take a snapshot of the last picture that I, with all the conclusions, and try to memorize them and follow them as best you can. This is where I found all the possible things to do in every university studies out there. So, I mean, I don't know what else to add apart from that. Next week, I'll have that conclusion video on the trial product that I'm going through with me and my mother. Right? So guys, have a good day and I'll see you next week.